Hi everyone! So if you're watching this video right now, I just wanted to say thank you for clicking on my first video. So I wanted to start this series because I'm very much into astrology and there's a lot that you can read up on about different signs. I'm going to be in this series particularly talking about sun signs, but there's a lot that you can read about and a lot of people put out a lot of videos for those. But I wanted to do a video more focusing on stuff that I've noticed that different sun signs sort of embody and just kind of patterns that I've observed. And I've even noticed that some of the patterns that I've observed even contradict patterns that other people have observed, which I think is like really interesting. So even if you disagree, I would love to know. So whether you agree or disagree, please comment below. I would just love to know and I would love to start discussion. So for today's video, I decided I would talk about Aries, mostly because I've got a lot of Aries in my life that I know pretty well and that I'm pretty close with. And also it's the first sign of the zodiac, so I thought, why not? So Aries, like I said, it's the first sign of the zodiac, it's a fire sign, and it's a warrior sign, and it's a leader sign. That definitely plays out physically, especially for the women I've noticed. They always look very strong, they can look pretty athletic, and actually they tend to be pretty athletic actually, yeah, when it comes to their interests, but yeah, you'll never see them looking dainty or you know, delicate. They're always gonna look strong and sturdy. Even if they've got a lot of femininity to their look, they're never gonna look completely feminine. There's always gonna be something about them that stands out that looks very strong and solid. And kind of to go along with that, Aries women tend to be like that in other aspects of their lives too. So they really value, I think, being independent, particularly independent in terms of like everyday day-to-day tasks, and independent in terms of like, you know, like I've noticed that they like to be financially independent. They really like to have their own interests going for them. Excuse me. So when I say independent, I don't necessarily mean like emotionally independent, because I actually find that they really value, from what I've noticed, they really value romantic relationships. Not that they're necessarily like, you know, emotionally dependent on their partners, but it's not as strong of a quality that comes across in other aspects. You know, it more so comes across in their day-to-day lives, the independence of the women. Also, going back to what I just said, in terms of romantic relationships, even though Aries is a very strong leader sign, I've noticed that the women, I've always noticed actually, like, that they're never really the strong masculine energy in their relationships. They're usually the feminine energy in their relationships, which is interesting. It's quite contradictory to the whole idea of Aries, but I have a theory when it comes to that. Aries, like I said, is a very romantic sign, so it seems to me like traditional gender roles just, you know, tend to play a strong role in the romantic lives of Aries. Also relating to romantic lives, I've noticed a lot of Aries that are attracted to other Aries. I know a lot of Aries couples. What else? I actually have a list. Okay, so yeah, Aries love to laugh and they love to make people laugh. They're always cracking jokes, and they all tend to have like different senses of humor, but they still have that aspect of light humor to them, so it still is usually pretty easy to make all of them laugh. Oh, okay, going back to romance, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about Aries men. They love to just spoil their partners. They love big romantic gestures. They love like the cliche romantic things. Aries women actually tend to do that as well with their partners. They do all those, you know, stereotypical cliche romantic things. They love to buy gifts for each other, all that good stuff. But actually this translates into other relationships too. I feel like Aries love to spoil the people in their lives, always buying presents for people that they care about, always spending money on people that they care about. I've noticed that a lot about Aries. I feel like that's a big way for them to show affection. What else? Okay, yes, they are quite protective people, and their style of protectiveness is quite territorial and almost authoritative. Out of everyone in my family, I find that the Aries energy, Aries sun sign particularly, is protective, because I'm like one of the youngest people in my family, should have mentioned that before. But yeah, everyone is basically pretty protective of me, but I find that the Aries energies in my family are protective in the most sort of territorial and authoritative way. Not that that's a bad thing, they're just very upfront about how they feel about me doing things that they don't like, and they're, you know, constantly warning me and all that good stuff. And yeah, I have noticed that they're quite protective of their friends and their family members, people that they care about. Yes, okay, also, Aries are doers. They just get stuff done. So you always want an Aries on your team. If you're doing like a group project or something, you can tell them what you're thinking, what your concept is, you can tell them what needs to get done, and they'll have it done in a heartbeat. I guess partially it can be a downfall with Aries because they can be impatient, but there's of course a brighter side to it. They get stuff done very fast. They want everything done like yesterday. I love to have Aries on my team because they make sure stuff gets done. But yeah, they, you know, they're the ones, if you have them over at your house for dinner, they're going to be the ones that have like the dishes done for you before everyone else is even done eating. They take a lot of initiative in all aspects of their lives. Sort of relating to that, I've noticed that Aries are very street smart. So they're very good at just knowing how to do practical things. So I always find myself, when I'm asking questions about, you know, how to fill out paperwork that everyone should know how to fill out, that I never know how to fill out, but I always find myself asking an Aries how to do that. Or, you know, when something happens with a car, I always find myself asking an Aries person what to do. They're very good at those kinds of things, directions, you know, stuff like that. What else? Yes, okay, they're very engaging people, and they can be quite charming, I've noticed, especially when they first meet people. So I've noticed that a lot of the times they're the ones kind of making the new person, the person that doesn't really know anyone at the event, they're the ones making that person comfortable, and they're the ones that are engaging with them. From what I know of them, usually they really like to be surrounded by people, and they just love, you know, exchanging energy with people that are around them. So I think that's all I've got for Aries for now. And like I said before, please let me know if you agree with what I've said, if you disagree with what I've said, if you've noticed similar patterns or different patterns, please let me know. I would really love to hear what you guys have to say. So yeah, that's all for now. Thank you for watching. Mwah. Bye.